Hey you guys, so today, since I was in the mood, I just wanted to share like one of my poems on here because I wanted to like kind of prove myself since I be big talk, and I wanted to show who I am and just give a little bit about. I'm just gonna be talking a little bit about who I am, but first I'm gonna read this poem. It's called. Well, I'm not gonna even say the name until the end for a reason, but I'm gonna read it. So here I go. You are the lover of my heart, always and forever. Raise our raise our gracious love to the highest place of our hearts, and we will celebrate. Blessed we are to have found each other, body like blood in this love, eyes like water, sworn to each other, I and you. And I have another poem. I think I might read more than one poem, but I have another poem. This poem is actually pretty old. I have another poem after that one that's called I and You, that is about a completely different person from what that poem is about. But I just wanted to share that one because I am a lover by nature because I am a woman. But it's not just because I'm a woman, it's because I have a very intellectual mindset, and then my heart, it's mainly because of my heart is set, my heart set is just set on love and prosperity in love, prosperity and purpose. It's set on desire and it's set on passion. And I love to love because it's love is one of the greatest forms of life. And I feel like, people say love is just an emotion and love is just something that you can feel, but it's actually really one of the greatest forms of life. And I want to be a person, because I am a lover, I want to be a person who loves and who is loved, because I love to be loved and I love to love. So I'm reading this because I want to kind of like put something into it, and just I feel like it's short enough to not have to break down, but I'm still going to break it down because I want to explain like truly what this means to me and try to explain truly what love means to me. Love internally is the greatest, purest, most phenomenal way of life and form of life. And that's what I am set on in the heart, in the mind, in the body, in the spirit, and in the soul. I'm set on love because I'm a lover. I'm a true lover. Like everyone that I've ever come across, even the people that I've had to forgive for what they've done to me, I've to this point in life found a way to say I love you to them, or I love them, or I have love about them or for them, because everything comes to the same answer, and that is that I have clarity and I love. And so it's just some people I'm not meant to love. So I'm not saying I said everybody, but when I meant everyone, I meant those who I have forgotten and remembered, who have spent time with me and have had opportunities or moments or chances with me, and I have had a moment of a life, or just even if it just lasted for a second, I know that it's meant to be inside of what is, that I love them, because that's just who I am. I know that some people think like love can be sacrificial, but if you're a person that believes that love is sacrificial, it's because you haven't had real love in your life, or because you've been hurt by someone you love, damaged by someone you loved, harmed or pained by someone you loved, and you have to forgive, you have to move on, you have to let go, you have to grow. So I just wanted to say that before I read this again. So I'm gonna explain something. I wrote this about someone who I cherished for a very long time and still cherish to this day. And we talk every day. I very much love him. I was in love with him. I still am. And everything that we've been through, everything that we've had together, everything that we've endured, everything that we've cherished, and everything that we've come to answer with each other while being in love and while getting to know each other, the whole process of just us being together was mainly in the factor of love, and mainly in the factor of understanding each other, knowing that we want to grow together, knowing that together we could support each other, be there for each other, and nothing could stand against us because we were with each other. Nothing could ever break us, make us, mold us, build us, or tear us apart. So this is the poem that I wrote for him. No, I am not with this person anymore. Yes, I am still in love. Yes, I am with another. But let me explain something. Some people think that it's not fair or it's not right to be in love with somebody and be with somebody else. But when you're truly fulfilled by love within your heart, or your love set, and you truly believe that you are fulfilled, then you know that whether you're in love or not, it's full what you've done and what you have, and you can carry that love with you forever, and you can still be in love with that person forever. But it doesn't mean that you have to be disloyal, or that you're being disloyal by being in love with that person. It just means that you're in love. And it means that it doesn't mean, because the in love that I'm in with this person that I'm talking about, I'm not in love in my heart. I'm in love in my mind, and not in my mindset, but in my mind of knowing who he is, knowing everything that we were together. I'm in love with that. But I'm not in love with him as... I'm in love with him as a person, but I'm not in love with him as a person. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to read it one more time, and we're going to break it down line by line. So it says, you are the lover of my heart, always and forever. Raise our gracious love to the highest place of our hearts, and we will celebrate. Blessed we are to have found each other, body like blood in this love, eyes like water, sworn to each other, I and you. So that first line, it had to, this poem had to begin with this first line, because I was swearing, I was oathing and swearing and promising, an oath to swear. Oh, I have to write that down actually. An oath and swear and promise. I was doing all three in this one line. It was an oath, a swear, and a promise, because the oath was where it said, you are the lover of my heart, was when I was the swear. And then always and forever was the promise. You are the lover was an oath, because this, like, we kind of like, an oath is kind of like a vow. So when we vowed that we were lovers to each other, I vowed that he was my lover and I was his lover, and he vowed that I was his lover and he was mine. So that's why that's the oath. Of my heart was a swear, because I swore, meaning I thoroughly understood and understanding of a understanding that you were of my heart. And then always and forever was the promise, because we promised each other to each other always and forever. Even though it didn't last that long, it's still kind of there. So it kind of, it's just, this was at the time, okay? So in the second line, says, raise our gracious love to the highest place of our hearts, and we will celebrate. So it said, raise our gracious love. That part right there meant whatever was in your heart that was gracious of our love, and the love itself, because our love is gracious, but whatever was there that was gracious, I wanted it to be risen to the highest place of your heart. So then to the highest place of your heart was the next part of our hearts, was the next part. And then after that it said, and we will celebrate. And I put in we will celebrate because it was a celebration of our love. This was not when we were coming to be apart, but this was when we were coming to be closer to the end that we didn't know about, but coming to be together more strongly. We were more bound into who we were as who we were. And so I wanted it to be a celebration, because that meant that we had not only grown and done what we promised and oathed and vowed and swore, but we had given this commitment that we made to be a celebration at this time, at this point of the relationship, because it was more than, I'm not going to say that. But anyways, the next line, blessed we are to have found each other. That just means what it says. Blessed we were blessed to have found each other. To find each other, we were blessed. And then the next line after that is body like blood in this love. That means the body of our love is like blood. You know how they say blood is thicker than water? Well, when I think of water, I think of a friendship. But when I think of blood, I think of family. So that's why, because water will fulfill you, but you have to take it in. Blood is always with you. Water will it will be the answer to your thirst. It will be, water's many things, but it's not blood, because blood stays with you. Blood is thicker than water. That's why I said the body of our love is like blood. And then the next line after that was eyes like water. And I said that because we always saw each other as friends, but it was deeper than that. I wish I could say what I thought of when I wrote it originally, but it was deeper than that. What I think I meant was, at the time, what I think I meant was eyes like water. Oh, it meant fulfillment. That's what it meant. It meant that everything that we see, every time we see each other, every second that we lay eyes on each other and we're connected with sight, that we are fulfilled. And then sworn to each other, I and you. That just means that, sworn to each other, I and you. Now I want to say that now that it's broken down, I want to say this. Love is the love is the epitome of life, because it's like everything falls back to love. Everything that with clarity and sanity and sanctity, everything falls back to love in life. And so when I chose to give myself to this person, and I'm letting go in this video, really, not all of it, but a lot of it I'm letting go of, because when I chose to give myself to this person, I chose to give myself to this person because God told me that this person was chosen for myself in the time that I was in, and I was chosen for this person. This poem means to me the celebration of our love, which is why it's important to me, because one of the things that I really wanted to take with me out of the relationship was my own celebration of just having that love, being grateful for that love that I had, sharing that time with my partner that I had, and knowing that even though I couldn't have that, knowing that despite everything that we went through that had to do with pain, hurt, trials, and tribulation, I had triumph, I had victory, I had love, I had desire, I had passion, I had fulfillment, I had everything that was good and great and gracious and kind and loving and meek and powerful and creative and artful. And that's the celebration comes in that good part. And all of that just gives me the reason to keep celebrating. And it reminds me, the celebration of our love is a reminder really to always keep loving. And that no matter the outcome of anything that could ever happen, because I have had what I have had, I will always be grateful for love, and I'll always know that I was loved. I'll always know that I am loved, because that'll always be what it is. Here's another poem that I wrote, and I hope you enjoy it, because I really love it. This one is for God, and I wanted to really break this one down to myself today. So here it is. Let my cry come before you, understanding all your words are true. Let our love flow like the peaceful seas, begin in me a new thing, a true thing. Pour a praise into my heart, and I will worship you. Your promises are true, and God, I know that you will fulfill all that you have for me. Forevermore in the depth of me, you are. You who made the heavens and the earth, you who are the one who I desire. Since I wanted to talk about myself, I wanted to read this poem because everything began with God. First of all, I give an honor and I say that all the glory goes to God, because He created me. He's the reason why I'm alive and living, breathing, and well. He's the reason for clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, food in the fridge, roof over my head, and the sun, the earth, everything that comes with life is because of Him. I wanted to read this because I wanted to look back and to understand that I've gone through many, many times where I had to deal with the impatience of pressing and praying and trying to motivate, trying to not stress, trying to keep hold, trying to keep going, trying to move on, trying to not move on, to work through, trying to move on and work through at the same time and still be settled in what I was in. It was just so much that I had to cultivate myself to drive and to strive into who I am right now in this second, and I still have so much yet to do. And the reason why this is so important to me is because one thing that I did not really focus on that He told me not to do was to praise. He told me not to sing. He told me not to praise to Him. He told me not to worship. But that was because I was not there in my heart, and I was not there in my spirit. Well, I was there in my spirit, man. I always am. But I wasn't there in my heart to where there was a place in me to where I was ready and prepared to celebrate God the way that He deserves to be celebrated, because I have had this love that He has given me, and it has taught me these things that I said it taught me, but I had to understand, and I had to grow in the understanding that everything that I say, God pays attention to. Everything that I do, God pays attention to. Nothing is unseen. Every motive that I have, He already knows before I do it, while I do it, as I do it, and after I do it, what I do. And so the reason why I tried to just bring this to me in this moment was because I'm forgiving myself right now here in this moment for not being able to praise Him the way that I wanted to, and worship Him the way that I wanted to, pray the way that I wanted to. Because the reason why I couldn't is because in my heart I loved Him. Well, it wasn't, I'll take that back. It wasn't my heart. In my heart I loved Him, but in my mind, because of everything that was going on, and I didn't understand, well, why aren't I receiving this? Why aren't I receiving that? Why isn't this happening in this moment? Why things moving the way according to me, according to his will. But it wasn't about according to me, according to his will. It was about, and I understood that it was always about according to his will. And even while knowing that and understanding that, I couldn't really find the answer to like why I couldn't have what I wanted and everything that I needed. But things come in time, and I got impatient because it was like, well, you don't want me to